Hello and welcome to Rauta's Underground Trio episode. Here we have once again 3 different bands from 3 different parts of the world with 3 different styles, and according to my opinion they are ranked from worst to best. Since these are all different styles, different genres altogether, it's kind of hard to compare them to one another, and I strongly suggest that you don't even try to do that. I most certainly am not doing that. I'm just ranking these how I felt about these albums, because eventually if I had to select one of these to put my record collection or whatever, or put my money on this, it would be a rather easy task anyway. So, first we'll go to Spain with a rather new band called SolNegre. This is stylized with a Norwegian E, but so it doesn't mean SolNegre, but SolNegre, which is dark sun or black sun. And this is the debut album called The Spiritual Labyrinth. So here we are with the 64 minutes of an album, 2023 release, that is only a year later than the band was founded. Comes with a sticker, which is a label one, and then of course this rather nice looking non-glossy digipack, which features the CD, art, some of the lyrics here, and of course the CD, and well, more art underneath the CD itself. Now, when bands proceed very quickly after they're being founded to recording first album and all that stuff, a lot of bands make these mistakes. They skip a demo phase entirely and do the very first mistakes with the first album. Now, this is not exactly the case with this Spanish band, but partially anyway, because the thing here is, while they have a couple of releases, this album is too much of a mess for various reasons. First of all, it's way too lengthy. I wouldn't mind if the quality was all there all the way through, of course, but it's not. The second thing is, it's in a way more diverse than what it's really good for itself. It starts with kind of a death doom, then progresses into something more like progressive doom, only to come back with more like traditional doom. Yes, doom all the way through, but it's kind of different stuff, and here I'm trying to elaborate what I really mean with that. Now, when we're talking about death doom, of course the pace is slow and you have those scrolly vocals, which are definitely like the easiest way to describe basically doom death. You're taking the kind of a death metal approach and adding that to doom without the clean vocals, and there you have it. It's almost like funeral doom with the beginning, but it kind of picks up the pace, and I wouldn't really call it funeral doom that much, but death doom. However, along the way, more clean vocals enter to play, and for some reason, for some weird reason, there are even the, auto-tune kind of a vocals, and I'm more like, why do you need auto-tune vocals for this kind? It becomes more and more annoying the more and more spins you give it, and that's something that I really can't forgive. They are annoying. And now later on, the more growly vocals are part of the game still, but there are parts where you just have like female vocals and clean vocals again, and it's almost like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do the best of Doom compilation, or what's the case here? That combined with 64 minutes of music, it becomes kind of a drag. Now, let me get this straight. If only this was something like 40-45 minutes and only the best pieces picked up, I mean, the songs are lengthy and there are too many of them. Maybe this would be more enjoyable. Now it feels like a show that doesn't know when to end before the date expires and all that stuff. So it's a decent start, but not really a good one. Smaller flaws removed, and this could be actually quite good. Then we go to UK with a band that was originally from Iran, which is not exactly the home for a lot of metal bands. Trivax is here with the new album, and I know this band has gotten some of the attention because, you know, when you have black metal from Far East, a place, countries where, you know, just playing black metal or extreme metal might get you beheaded, or I don't know, at least a prison sentence. It's a bold move, and probably that reason the band later on decided to relocate to UK, now with a lineup. This one is called Never Dies label here, which I know mostly as a publisher for books. Like I have the Black Metal Evolution of the Cult book, but it seems like they're putting out some music too, which is interesting and bold move, of course. So Trivax has here Eloah Burns Out, which is a combination of more like Far Eastern elements combined with melodic, rather diet version of black metal. I mean, this is by no means raw, violent, aggressive ways of black metal, but more towards the melodic and atmospheric ways of doing black metal. As such, actually, this is pretty nice of an album. It starts rather strongly, but there is a decline phase when the album starts to go more like less interesting ideas, beat riffs or melodies or whatever. It's almost like the first part, the first half of the album, roughly give or take, is like the strong suit on this one, meaning the songs are more interesting, there is more memorability, catchiness if you will. There are these Far Eastern melodies very beginning of the album, and I'm like already stoked, like this is going to be something different than your typical Western black metal, usually meaning Scandinavian takes, or even the kind of a Greek ones. This doesn't sound any of that, not to mention American or South American black metal. So it definitely sounds fresh. The only band that comes to my mind getting even somewhere close to it is the early Melekesh ones. But then again, it's a little bit different breed. However, unfortunately, this becomes more standard black metal in terms of melodics and or melodies and the atmospheric parts, and as a result it is towards the end a little bit of a disappointment. If only the rest of the album was as good as how it starts, this would be a good one. Now it's more like a decent one with bunch of good ideas and bunch of more like lukewarm ideas, but definitely worth taking a look. I mean, it's not bad by no means. It's actually on the good side of things, if only it was more memorable and maybe more original in style. I would say this is something like of the better of 2023. Now it falls somewhere in the middle, which is definitely on the positive side of things, but not exactly getting a medal for that. And then the best of the pile comes in a form of Germanic thrash metal circa 2023. Now this band, Cruel Force, is still labeled on Metal Archives as black thrash metal band, but with this third album, Dawn of the Axe, I would say this is morely thrash metal or thrash heavy metal, because there are no real black metal presence with the songwriting, vocals, what have you, and calling it a black thrash is, in my opinion, a kind of a revisionist take. I mean, compared to this to a lot of classic thrash metal albums or even some heavy metal ones, and you get the idea. If there is one name that really started popping up when I was listening to this and figuring out who would I associate this with musically, I would say early Exodus. There are certain riffs, certain parts, passages on the album which are really like, hey, yeah, this is going like back to Exodus in the 1980s. And that's a really, really positive thing. I mean, Bonded by Blood is one of the best thrash metal albums of all time, so take it as you will. But this is not as good, unfortunately, as the early Exodus one, but it's kind of getting the right vibes, the right ideas, and as such, I would say this is a strong album. Now, the good thing is with this album is that they understand what heavy metal is all about. It's not very complicated, it's not artsy-fartsy, it's not avant-garde-ish. It's getting back to the very, very basic, good riffs, good vocals on top of that, and production that really, really fits the music. Now, whether we're talking about the thrashier side or more heavy metal side of things, these guys know what they're doing. And I'm really happy that they found this new phase for the band that is combining thrashier elements with heavy metal rather than heavy black or black speed thrash, whatever you have you. I mean, there are plenty of good black thrash bands, don't get me wrong, but usually when I prefer thrash metal, I like it pure blood. No black metal, no death metal included. And the same goes for black metal. I rather have it without thrashier and deathier elements, because those hybrid genres, they tend to drop the ball. They are like, should I go to the death metal direction or black metal direction? And then they end up in the middle of the road, driven, hit by a car, and not like leaving a good mark. But when bands go like this, thrash metal combining with a little bit older heavy metal, that is all you need to do. This is a good positive surprise, already been out since I think September or August, and definitely worth your time if you're into old school metal to begin with. So 3 different kind of albums. Like I said, you really can't compare these to one another in style or genre because they are all different breed. So once again, it depends which kind of stuff you prefer. If you are like doom metal above all the others, that'll SolNegre will be that stuff. If you don't like doom or thrash metal, go with Trivax. But if you're like me, you like all these genres, I would say Crew Force is the winner here. So take it as you will. Links provided in the description box. Start listening and start liking. Thank you for your time. See you soon with more reviews coming your way. Bye bye.